What's up, everybody? This review, we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Jinx, or Kim Arashikage. So here she is in that new style packaging. We got the window. We can see her different accessories. Got some nice artwork on the side. 124. A little bit of pictures with her. Other side. Let's get her open and check her out. So here is Kim Arashikage, Jinx, outside of the package with her different accessories. We've got this nice double-bladed staff. Pretty cool. Got the nice silver on there. Some brown wraps around the ends that don't really have any detail in there, and then you got the black staff part of it. You've got her extra head with the mask on and a softer plastic for the ties. You have her blindfold, which is really soft. You have a couple open hands. And then you get her sword. A black little sheath to it. It's this really soft silver plastic. It's actually pretty soft itself too. And a brown handle. No details in there at all. So that's the sword looks kind of weak, honestly. Could have did to be a little bit more silver. Maybe something like the staff. The handle could have used a little bit of a wash also to bring out the bands. And the sword actually has these details in there from how they fold it. But you can't really see it. It's just not brought out by anything. A nice silver probably would have let you see that a little bit better. This alternate head is okay. It's got that red band, but this got folds in there that you really have to look at to see. Like maybe a little bit of like some kind of shading in there would have brought it out a little bit more, like a darker red on certain parts. These hands look okay. You can see a little texturing in the wraps, but again, something else, like a little bit more extra paint would have brought it out. And then her sheath has texturing, but it's also plain. And it's really plasticky look also. So I don't know. The accessories could have used just a little bit more. Especially that sword. That's gonna be a big thing for me. Definitely should have been nice silver, especially if you already used it on the staff. But the staff could have used a little bit of wash in this brown bands because it's got detail in there that's not being brought up. So here's Jinx herself, and she's got a really awesome head sculpt. I really like the face on it. And I like the hairstyle that they used. Wasn't so much of a fan of the hair that she had in the cartoon. But this looks really good. And it's got a lot of detail in there. So you've got the black hair, but you've got like a little pink eyeshadow going on. The eyes look really good. You've got the pinkish lips, the reddish lips. You've got a little bit of like pinkish around the cheeks. Like that's really good. And it really brings out the sculpt a lot. I'm just like, wow. Maybe that's where everything went into. It does have a little bit of a shine to it, but it could also be my lights. And then for the rest of her, she's got this necklace. This really soft plastic. You got a nice tattoo on the right arm. That's really cool. Dragon emblem. Now you've got the red like gi with like a darker reddish, brownish going through there to break up that color. Also runs down the side into the legs. And then you've got the black belt. You got the black trim around the leg, around the calf area. And then right at the top of the shoes. So not a lot of color, but where they use it breaks up a lot of plainness. So pretty good. Again, I think everything went into the face, which I'm pretty okay with because that's a really nice head sculpt. I can't imagine if they were left that plain, like what it would look like, what would be missing. And that tattoo is really awesome. So for articulation, the head will turn to the side pretty good. It's just on a double ball. You're not really getting a lot of help from the base of the neck. She will look down, not even look down. The sculpt stops it, but she will look up pretty okay. That's about as far down as she goes. T-pose. Really nice. This part right here is actually a floating piece for her butterfly, so that's really cool. Bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows that work really, really well. We've got vertical hinges for the wrist on both sides, on both sets of hands. Diaphragm cut that I wish I can get a little bit more out of. A waist ball that is being hidden by this top part of her gi. You kind of got to grab it pretty tight to move it. You got, her legs will go forward, but they kind of go out as they go up, kind of like a Y joint, but I don't believe it is. Drop down hips. Only going forward about that far. Legs go out. Upper thigh cut. Double jointed pinless knees. Upper calf cut that's hidden by this black band. Really nice placement for that. Ankle hinge and pivot. And that's it for her articulation. Let's get some accessories and swap out the head. So very cool looking. You got the mask on her. I got the sword on her. I'm assuming she's a lefty because of how the sword fits on her. Got that nice staff in her hands. Really cool. And it looks like you'll be able to pose her like multiple different ways. But she looks very cool with everything on her. Get that staff out of her hand. And this isn't her only look. We started out with the other head. We'll put that back on. And she's got this blindfold. And it's really, really soft. So that's very cool. Gave us a whole other look. These want to twist so easy at the hip joint. Like, how cool is that? It's a really nice pose. Then maybe put the staff in a hand. Something like that. Just for some quick posing. Pretty cool. And with her joints, you're able to get some pretty good articulation out of her. I mean, she's got the sword in front of her. And then also at like a forward angle because of the wrist hinges, the way that they work since they're vertical. So those are really nice. So we can do a little bit forward. I mean, I like that. The butterfly, everything works in there really good. So you can get her in some really awesome posing. I wish most figures would have a joint system that worked this close, especially if you're gonna have a sword. Because I mean, look at that. Just like that, we went from one pose straight out to, you know, up by her side. Very cool. You use the legs, throw that in there. And she's either training or getting ready to do some damage. Very cool. You can definitely have a lot of fun with this one. So just really nice. I wonder if I can get, let's see. Yeah, I like that too. Let's get her next to a couple other figures. Let's do a little size comparison. We're gonna start with her teacher and her cousin. So here she is next to her teacher, Snake Eyes, at least one of them. And then the greatest ninja in all of G.I. Joe, Storm Shadow. Yes, I am a Storm Shadow fan. If you haven't caught that. And they all have the Arashikage symbol somewhere on them, you know? Except for Jinx. I might be missing something, but I don't see it on her at all. So I don't know what's up with that. But they all stand about the same height. And they look really good together. That's really cool. Here she is next to a couple other martial artists. We have Quick Kick and Nunchuck. Quick Kick and Nunchuck are just a little bit taller than she is, but they also look good together. And here she is next to a couple of her movie mates. We got Chuckles, we got Tunnel Rat, and then our stand-in Big Lob, the starting lineup, Joel and Beep. And they look good together. I can't wait to get an official Big Lob and Law. That's gonna be cool to get all of them. It's gonna be really cool. So that's gonna be it for this review. Overall, I think she's a really good figure. They pretty much nailed it. She has a pretty simple look with the red, but they did a little different by adding the different shades, giving her that tattoo, and then putting the extra detail in the face. I think that was a really good call. It just helps break up just a solid red look, and I mean, really brings it out. But I do wish they would have used just a tiny bit of red in the masked head sculpt, just a little bit on the sides, just to kind of help bring those folds out, you know, that detail. And then maybe just a little bit of a dark wash in the brown parts of the sword, in the hand, in the grip here on the handles. And then that sword part, I wish it was a shiny silver like the blades on that staff. I mean, that would have been really good. I don't know how much that would have cost them to do that, but I think it would have been worth it. And I'd probably end up doing it on my own or something like that, or I'll just leave it like this. Again, I'm pretty cool with it. That's a good looking figure. This is pretty much how she's gonna be stored on my shelf. I'm gonna leave that little blindfold down around her neck just because I don't want it to stretch out over time, leaving it over her eyes. And I don't want to cover up that head sculpt either. So that's how she's going to be on there. And just a really good figure. So I like that a lot. And then, you know, just seeing these guys together. I mean, definitely makes it worth it. I mean, you got the same clan, everything like that. And then go a little bit further. And you got her movie castmates with these two guys. I mean, that's awesome. I can't wait till we get the rest of their crew. So that's going to be it for this review. Another really good figure from Hasbro, the G.I. Joe Classified line. I'll catch y'all in the next one.